What did Eric Kesso, the new assistant coach, bring to Auburn's wing catch room? Bryan Harsin has turned to a familiar face to take over Auburn's wide receivers room. After firing first-year receivers coach Cornelius Williams on Sunday, just 4 games into the season, Harsin elevated offensive analyst Eric Kesso to an on-field role overseeing the Tigers' receiving corps. Kiesau, who joined Harsin's support staff in February, was an offensive assistant at Boise State each of the last 4 seasons, including the Broncos' offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach last season. "I'm excited about Eric Kesso," Harsin said Monday. "He brings a lot of knowledge to that position. He's coached it for many years. He's been around for a while and understands offense, understands developing and understands that position in particular." Kiesau is no stranger to coaching the wide receiver position, including within a Harsin-run program. Prior to being named Boise State's offensive coordinator/quarterbacks coach last season, Kiesau spent the prior 3 seasons as the team's wide receivers coach. During that time, he helped tutor a trio of All-Mountain West receivers in Cedric Wilson, Sean Modster, and John Hightower. Hightower and Modster each approached 1,000 yards receiving in their All-Mountain West seasons, with Hightower catching 51 passes for 943 yards and 8 touchdowns in 2019 and Modster finishing with 68 catches for 978 yards and 8 scores. Wilson was the most prolific of the bunch, finishing the 2017 season with 83 catches for 1,511 yards, second most among FBS receivers, and 7 touchdowns. Bryan Harsin, firing Cornelius Williams, not ideal, but needed to be done. Auburn coach Bryan Harsin explained his decision to fire wide receivers coach Cornelius Williams just 4 games into the season. That was hardly his only experience coaching wide receivers during his now 21-year coaching career. He also coached receivers at Utah State in 2001, at California from 2002-05 and at Kansas in 2014. His resume also includes time as an offensive coordinator at Colorado from 2009 to 10, at Washington from 2012 to 13 and Fresno State in 2016, as well as a prior 1-year stint in the SEC as an offensive analyst for Alabama in 2015. "I have known of him for a long time, a little bit in that coaching circle," Harsin said. "One of the things, he's a very good teacher. He understands what we want to do. He understands how we want to do it and why we're doing what we're doing. He brings that experience and a level of teaching that I feel like can improve our room and help those guys understand what it is they're trying to accomplish every play. I think he's a good technician. He's a very good coach. He's very detailed. That would be one thing I would describe him as. He's a very detailed coach. He has a plan. He has a vision. He has things I know we'll do at the wide receiver position that will help us improve." That was the biggest impetus for Harsin in his decision to relieve Williams of his duties and promote Kiesau, whose coaching style and production he has seen firsthand in recent years. While Williams has proven himself as a promising young wide receivers coach, and one with deep recruiting ties to the state of Alabama, Auburn's wide receivers have not lived up to the standard expected by Harsin this season. The receivers room had to replace its top 3 players this offseason following the departures of Seth Williams, Anthony Schwartz, and Eli Stowe. There was minimal returning production, with no returning wideout with more than 10 career catches entering the season, but the cupboard wasn't bare, with 5 former 4-star recruits at the position, plus the offseason addition of Georgia grad transfer and former 5-star prospect Demetris Robertson. Through 4 games, though, the Tigers' wide receivers have been inconsistent. At best, the group has struggled to create explosive plays in the passing game, has been plagued by drops, and receivers have had a hard time getting on the same page as Auburn's quarterback. Williams was ultimately held responsible for that, and now Harsin is hopeful the 48-year-old Kiesau will be able to get Auburn's wide receivers up to par and consistently producing at the level the Tigers head coach expects of them for the offense to be successful heading into SEC play. Kiesau had his first opportunity to get hands-on leading the group on Sunday during Auburn's cleanup practice, and he'll pick back up Tuesday when the team begins full-on preparation for Saturday's SEC opener at LSU. "Every player on this team, that's a standard we all have got to live up to," Harsin said. "Every single week we've got to be better. It doesn't get easier. That's one of the beauties of football. As the season goes on it doesn't get easier, you should get better. That's how it should be. There's not less time spent getting yourself better. You've got to sacrifice a lot and you've got to spend a tremendous amount of time in order to have yourself physically ready to play, mentally ready to play every single day. I think Coach Kiesau brings that to the table. He understands that." Tom Green is an Auburn beat reporter for Alabama Media Group. Follow him on Twitter at Tomas_Verde.